What's going on, everyone? I'm back here with another one of our students at DSA. We have Cody today. And Cody, if you want, you can just give a little bit of background on yourself, where you're located, what you're currently doing. I know that you're a little bit different than a lot of the other students that we have because you guys have two businesses right now. So let everyone know what you're up to and what you also do because you're at the office right now.
That's right. Yeah. So I'm an engineer. I work for an oil company. So me and my wife actually do this business. She's been doing house cleaning for over 5 years, and that's kind of part of the reason why we have two locations is because we were in Austin, Texas, and she had a business that she was running there, and I got a job offer to move up to northern Colorado. And so when we moved, we decided that we'd want to do something local. She would keep her current clients in Austin and we just kind of expand using the DSA business model. And going into Northern Colorado, obviously we didn't have any network or any clients, so doing the DSA business model has really helped us to be able to grow almost instantaneously, like going from uh, not having anything or anybody to being able to clean 50, 60 homes in a month. Like that's huge to be able to do in such a short amount of time span. I mean, it's pretty crazy. We've kind of focused on the market up here in northern Colorado because in Austin it's a little bit saturated. The leads not able to close them as often. I'm doing the sales side and she's doing the cleaning side. She's kind of making sure that the cleaners that we hire are up to par with what the expectation should be. And then she's also doing, which is good for us, she's also doing cleans herself. So
Yeah.
allows us to have a really healthy profit margin to be able to put more towards ad spend or to be able to give more discounts or be able to pay the cleaners a little bit more to be a little bit more flexible and be able to get more clients on the schedule.
So you started this job relatively recently, right? Like you guys just made the move from Austin to Colorado like a couple months ago, or what did that
It was in October of last year.
talked over
Is
last?
when we moved up here. We kind of She took a break. She was still kind of managing her operations in Austin, and then I think it was like May is when we initially reached out to DSA. I'd seen both Parker and yourself on TikTok, and I know we had conversations. Little tiny conversations probably over a year ago. Didn't really turn into anything. But once we moved and we got to a position where that's when we kind of started reaching back out and looking into getting into the community and joining and being able to see where we could go with the cleaning companies.
Sweet. Yeah. And then Parker, he was telling me how your wife, she has like a very huge passion for cleaning. So it's cool how now like you guys can manage the team that you had down there and like the clients that you had over there. And she's now doing some of the cleans for you guys in Colorado. How many, I know that was it the Colorado location that is doing the majority of the income because I saw that you guys did in one of the businesses around like $1,100 in revenue, but then the other one,
Hmm.
17,000 in revenue. So I'm assuming that's the
That's
Colorado business.
the Colorado one is doing last month did 17,000. Yep. And then Austin, we did 1,100. We kind of focused early on. I think the first 10 days we were able to do like 3 grand in Austin. But because the leads started becoming a little bit more of an issue with closing them and a little bit more expensive, we kind of just slowed down. We just kind of set a budget. We're going to spend, $150 a week in Austin and whatever that leads to, that leads to. And then up here, we're honestly spending about the same in ad cost in both places, but up here it's just a lot more lucrative. I don't know if it's because there's not as much competition up here in northern Colorado. I think like the Fort Collins, Loveland, Greeley area, the total population maybe like 300 or 400,000 versus
Yep.
like the Austin metro is probably like
Crazy.
1.5 and above. So it's been really good for us up here, and in Austin we are still growing. So she has her client base, which that client base I would say on average is like 6 or 7 thousand a month, and then with the addition that we have added on to it with doing the DSA business model. The last couple of months have been not too great. 1 to 2 thousand, but it's actually picking up. We picked up some more clients, some more reoccurring work, so I think we'll probably be closer to like 3 or 4 thousand, and at that location, but just kind of slowly growing that one. No huge rush to get big numbers because we're doing so well up here in northern
Mhm.
Colorado.
And then how many cleans do you think your wife's doing a week now for the Colorado location? And then also how many cleaners do you guys have in the Colorado business? Because 17,000 is a lot of revenue. So a lot of cleans are on the books. And if she's passionate about it, I'm sure she's doing at least 10, 15 hours a week, like minimum, probably like for the actual cleanings.
Yeah, so actually, a majority of the cleans are done by her, and she has a helper that goes with her.
Okay. So
So
the margins are probably nice then.
yeah, super nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'd say we probably get 3 to 4 cleans a day. So anywhere from 12 to 15 cleans a week. And we try to squeeze most of them Monday through Friday. We do an occasional on Saturday and Sunday. We did have some other cleaners working for us. Reliability wise has been a little bit of an issue as far as showing up late, no call, no shows, us having to rework the schedule. So we've kind of like because she can do them, and because she has a helper or two that'll go with her, so they can knock out the cleans, and they do a really good job. It's worked out really good for us. We're trying to get to a point where she can eventually step back from the cleans, but right now it's going so well that that's just kind of what's working for us. But we will eventually get to the point where she is kind of slowly removing herself and then just managing the cleaners.
Yeah, no, 100%. And then a lot of people are probably asking this question. I know that you guys are currently doing it right now, where it's like you have not only like the business in Colorado, but you have the one in Texas, but like you have a full-time job too. So what has it been? I mean, obviously it's been a lot of help with having a companion that's helping you out with the business operations and doing the actual fulfillment too. But what would the work-life balance be between your regular 9 to 5 as an engineer? You said that you're in petroleum, you work with oil and gas, and then also just managing this business because you said that you're spearheading the sales side. So how is that like during the day with like the calls that are coming in? Are you just stepping out of the office, or do you have
Yeah,
kind of
it's
a
tough.
laissez-faire leadership with what you're currently doing over there? Or what's that all like for you?
Yeah, so it's been tough trying to juggle and manage it. I initially started off taking phone calls, and I try to only take them around the lunch hour. But I got to a point where I didn't feel right doing that. So I just stopped taking phone calls altogether. If I get phone calls in, I will text back the client. I got a pre-made text that I'll shoot out to them, and then they'll typically respond. I do give them the option if they do want to get on the call to tell me a good time they want to get on the call, and then the occasional 5% will want to actually talk to somebody, and I'll just wait for a good time that works for me to hop on a call with them and go through whatever questions or concerns that they may have. But otherwise, I handle everything through mostly through text message with the Google LSA, and then through Thumbtack. That's already kind of built into the platform. A lot of messaging, so either I'll message them on the Thumbtack app, or I'll take it off the app. A lot of times people don't even they'll submit their inquiry and then they won't even look at Thumbtack after that. So
Yeah.
then I'll just follow up with them via text message straight to their phone number that they put in the system. So
So
yeah,
you have
that's how I've been handling it. Just a lot of text message because it's a lot easier for me to sit here and do my regular work and then just kind of shoot off an occasional text here or there and
mhm.
be able to manage and field those. And obviously, I'm not going to get the higher close rate that you would get if you were to talk to them on the phone, but it's enough. And
It's worth
because
it.
yeah,
It's worth it so far.
because
Numbers show.
because yeah, because my wife is doing the cleans, we have that kind of flexibility to be able to lose some leads because of the way that we're carrying out our closing of deals.
Yeah, you have the flexibility, but you also have the systems in place, and I'm sure your speed to lead is pretty good. Like someone reaches
Oh,
out and inquires, within 5 minutes, the latest, you probably have that automated text getting sent out, that plug and play, and it's like, hey, like if you get response from someone, like they're gonna be like, okay, like I understand, like we're humans at the end of the day. Like I'm sure that whatever the quote is gonna be, I can communicate with you over text. I don't need to get on a phone call with you, and it's just
exactly.
service
Hmm.
business at the end of the day. It's not like you're gonna be talking to these high net worth clients that you're trying to sell software to or anything like that. Like at the end of the day, they just want to clean, and if you're reaching out to them within a couple of minutes, then they're gonna be accepting for that, and they're gonna understand, and you're gonna be able to get some people through the door.
Yep, that's exactly right. Yeah, you'll get, and through the text message process, some people may be like, "Hey, you mind jumping on a quick call? I just want to talk to you. It'll just make me feel more comfortable." And then, that's not a problem. I can make time for that. But yeah, and I would say 90% of communication is held through text message.
Sweet. And then have you thought about getting like a virtual assistant to maybe have that like phone call system kind of back within your business where you have like someone that's also connected to your open phone account that's answering the calls on demand, and maybe even I know that you said that your wife would maybe one day be managing the cleaners, or have some sort of a person in there outside of just like the two of you, or because now you guys are making over probably 8, 9K profit based on just like the margins with like your wife doing the cleans and everything a month. Like has that ever been a conversation that you guys have had?
Yeah, it has. I'd say right now, since we're still kind of in our infancy, we just closed up last month was our second month of, following the DSA business model. So we're still a little clunky around some things. We could probably be a little bit more streamlined with certain aspects. but it's working for now. Even through the clunkiness, it's working. When we get to a point where we feel like we're comfortable and we're streamlined and it's a repeatable process that's easy for somebody else, then probably we'll go that route for sure. And I know with the DSA, there's you guys are putting together some information to help out the community, so that's something we'll definitely be following closely.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of people start these businesses because they want to like actually leave their current job that they have, and it seems like for you, like you have good insurance, you have good benefits. Like it doesn't seem like you want to step away from engineering. So this is
So
kind of like
that's
a an extra vehicle of income, which a lot of people today need. Like you need to have another source of income coming in if you want to be able to like survive these crazy inflation prices and the cost of living now. I think Colorado is actually a pretty say a nice cost of living area to live. I've only been there once, but it's a beautiful area and everything seems to be reasonably priced. But like a lot of these people want to buy houses one day and they can't even afford it because of how much the prices have been jacked up. And you have a pretty cool
mhm.
system set up where you could still have that job that you enjoy and you're making pretty good money and you have the insurance, you have the benefits, and then you have this vehicle behind you that's now cash flowing you another salary. So it's like really cool to see that how you have like two salaries in one essentially.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. Yeah, it feels like I'm doing two jobs at once, which can be challenging at times. But like I said, being able to handle things through text message makes it a lot easier. But really, my ultimate goal was to provide this for my wife to be able to maybe take reins on and become her baby. Um, because she obviously she's got the cleaning side, but she just doesn't have the business
Mhm.
acumen, the sales acumen to be able to take on that side of it. But over time, I'm kind of slowly, teaching her. Not that I'm like an expert, but I've worked in a professional setting for 10 years now, so I have the business speak, I have the sales speak. So being able to teach her and get her up to speed on that stuff, that's kind of the ultimate goal. So then she could take this and take ownership of it. Because I mean, we're kind of planning next year to start having kids, and that's going to take
Oh
a lot of
wow.
time.
Congratulations.
Time, yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, so that's going to take a lot of time. And she's going to want to be home with them, and it's going to be much easier to be home with them if she's just running the business instead of doing the cleans, right? So
Yeah.
we're trying to. That's kind of our goal, is to kind of get into that point. This time next year, is to where she's completely out of doing cleans. She's just kind of running the business side, and then we have cleaners full force out there taking care of the cleans.
100%. So when we kind of first chatted like a year ago, you said, what were your expectations of like where you would be like today? And like, have you exceeded those expectations or have there been like a lot of challenges that have come across the way that you face that you've either are still facing or have overcome? But like that roadmap over the last 12 months of from moving to now having two locations to where you're at with everything right now, did
Yeah,
it?
honestly, I didn't have a ton of expectations, just in general, because like I said, my passion's in my work, and this is kind of like something I wanted to do for her,
Mhm.
which I guess in a sense is a passion, because obviously, seeing her be successful and seeing her do well, that's going to make me happy as well. But no super big expectations really. Like, my expectations were, getting with you guys, which are experts in the field, to be able to provide that guidance and save me the time, because
And
obviously
expedite, yeah.
I don't have the time to go through all the information to figure out how to get the business, the insurance, all that stuff set up. And you guys have a roadmap that you give us, and it makes it super quick and easy to be able to start this in any state, any city, anywhere. So having that, being able to save me time, and just the community itself, like any question you have, small or big, like somebody's experienced it, someone's has the different viewpoints on how to handle it. So it's good to have all that knowledge that's being built up in the community, and then having the expert knowledge of you guys who have done this business model and it's worked, and you guys are crushing it and making tons of money. And having that mentorship, that's really what my goal was be able to save time, and then have that mentorship to be able to excel. And that's exactly what has happened. So I mean, I think it's worked out exactly as planned.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's cool that like we're in a community with only people that are doing like the exact same thing and they have the exact same goal. So it's like really cool how like if you have a question, you just ask it and then I'm sure someone within 30 minutes is like, "Oh, like I actually dealt with this last week. Like this is how I overcame that." Like it's just like a different kind of community. It's not just like a regular Facebook group where everyone's an entrepreneur or a entrepreneur and they want to like make money online and everyone's just spitballing all different ideas. It's like no, like you're in a network with people that have the same business and they're doing the same thing and they're overcoming the same struggles and everyone's just there to bring each other up. Like no, it's there's no competition or there's no people aren't competing with others, and it's just like a cool little community that we have, and it's like awesome to see how much it's grown over the last year.
Yeah, yeah, it is pretty cool. Yeah, and even since even since I started just a few months ago, I think the community's almost doubled in size. So I mean, it's cool seeing so many more people with that drive to be able to want to come and do this, and for whatever personal reasons that they have, whether they want to get out of their 9 to 5 situation. I mean, it's just super cool to see how much success that everybody is having because of the guidelines that DSA is providing.
Yeah, no, 100%. I was just talking to Zach the other day, and he like dropped out of college a couple weeks ago, and I didn't even know that he did that. He told me on the call. I was like, "What? You dropped that? What do you mean you dropped out?" He's like, "Oh, like I don't have to go back. Like I don't like I'm just wasting my money, and they're teaching me stuff that I don't need to know. I had a degree that I wasn't really 100% certain of what I wanted to do, and I kind of like realized that, and I started my business, and now I'm making enough money where I could be like, oh, like I don't have to be here, and if I go all into myself and figure it out, and if you bet on yourself, then I'm probably gonna have a good result." So he
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
go back to school this fall, and I was like, damn. And he
yeah.
moved in with his girlfriend, who he's been dating a little bit, and now
Oh,
they have their
nice.
own place. So he's
That's
crushing it.
awesome.
But
Yeah, I think the cool thing is about DSA is like, yeah, this is the specific, cleaning is the specific sector that, is being targeted, but like this really, you could take this, guidelines and set of skills and, really push it onto different service related aspects. So that's pretty neat that people can expand in that way. Obviously for us, with my wife, cleaning is her niche. So because of that, we'll probably stick to just cleaning. But it is relatable to other service sectors like lawn care or exterior home cleaning, like all sorts of different things.
the window cleaning, I've seen
Yeah.
a lot of people that have started with the cleaning business have started an LED light installation business where they have like these permanent LED lights that houses want to get for like the holidays and stuff. There's good margins in that. I've seen people do it with like locksmiths. I'm sure that you understand the
Mm-hmm.
margins with locksmiths. It's like you get locked out of your car, your apartment, you're gonna get charged $400 to get in. Like obviously the cost of that is not $400, so those margins
Yeah.
are easy, and you just find people that are able to do it for a living, and you just have them go to these different random jobs, and there's a lot of money to be made in that. Elias, he had like a window installation contract in the beginning of the year where he hired out a crew to do window installation for this huge contractor. Like there's a lot of cool different general contracting opportunities that you can just do with the drop servicing business model. It's sick. But yeah, I mean, like, we can end it on what do you have envisioned for goals for the end of the year? So going into 2025 Q1, where do you want to be with your business, with the systems, maybe even like a revenue goal, or like the amount of customers that you have is maybe like a certain goal for the amount of recurring clients that you have in the Colorado location and the Texas location. What do you and your wife been talking about with expectations for going into the new year?
Yeah, I think our biggest goal would be having our schedule completely filled up with recurring clients. Here towards the end of the summer, there's tons of move out cleans that were happening, but with school starting back up, we're getting a lot of inquiries now for recurring services. So if we can pack out our schedule with just nothing but recurring services, obviously that's going to be ideal because that's going to be your one-time lead cost, and continuously making back your money on that. So if we can transform into having a full schedule with recurring clients, is we would be in a I think we'd be in a great spot. I'm kind of interested to see how it's going to play out here with winter and how that's going to affect our cleans. But luckily here in Colorado, it'll snow, and then a couple days later the sun will be out and everything will melt within a
Oh,
few
that's
days.
perfect.
So it shouldn't have impacted too much, but I could see it probably hitting us a little bit. So that's probably where we'll start putting more focus back on the Austin company. And I think that'll
Mhm.
be good for us to have both of those going. And I think a big goal is to just kind of continue to steadily grow out to Austin. Obviously, she has the existing client base, but we've added 6 reoccurring clients onto her existing schedule. So that's going well. So if we can start increasing there and then maybe phasing out some of her clients that are a little bit more difficult, that are paying historical legacy prices which are a little bit lower. I think that'll be super helpful for us. But yeah, I think numbers wise, I'd like to hit 20K consistently with the one up here, and then through the DSA business model, I'd like to get up to 5 to 8K to add on to the existing 5 to 8K that's going on. So roughly by the end of the year, hopefully be 20K up here, 15ish down there. That would be a good goal for us by the end of the year. And then obviously we'll want to start passing off some of her cleaning onto some contractors. So we'll probably be a little bit over the next couple months, a little bit more into the hiring, trying to find responsible people that are up to the expectations that we set for the customers. So I think those are the 3 main things that we're going to try and hit on going into the end of the year here.
Sweet. So would you want to have your wife be working at half of the workload that she's working at by the beginning of next year, or entirely out, or what do you think for her but on like the fulfillment side.
Yeah, I'd say probably 25 to 50% out. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's solid. And
And
then
that way it kind of give us flexibility if, something were to happen with, one of the cleaners can't show up or is late or something were to happen, she could just go out and do the clean herself.
yeah, no, 100%. Well, sweet. Well, I appreciate your time. And then, I mean, hey, if anyone's in the Austin or the Colorado area, if you want to shout out your businesses real quick to support some local business.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So our Austin company is called Violet Crown Cleaners. And then our Northern Colorado company is kind of a play off of my wife's name. It's called Jackie B's Cleaning.
Okay, sweet. Well, appreciate you so much for having you, Cody, and keep crushing it. And yeah, hopefully you hit those goals by the end of the year.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
You too.